Okay, so wedding vlog, here we go. I am going back to Nevada for my friend Bree's wedding. And before I get back, we are doing one more night of farm chore things. And we're starting off strong. I just stood in like a pile of ticks. So, happy wedding weekend! Alrighty folks, so here we are bright and early on travel day. This day was a Wednesday. I had to go to work for about a half day and then I had to run an outside event, and fun fact, I can be done hair and makeup in under 10 minutes. So that is what you see going on here. And I didn't have any video conferencing to do today, so I wasn't too terribly worried about looking camera ready, just ready enough to greet people when the day begins. Now, fun fact, I always travel just with a backpack. And so here I am packing 4 days of clothes, including my rehearsal outfit and shoes and my makeup, into my backpack. Okay, so it is 6:30 in the morning. I've been up for like an hour. I've had coffee. We've gotten ready for the day. I'm ready to run an event today because, you know, why not add a few more things to my plate before getting on a plane and traveling halfway across the country and doing flowers tomorrow. So my bag is totally packed. I am anticipating being able to come home and have a few hours to relax, decompress before getting on the plane. But just in case anything happens, I wanted to be fully ready to go. So my bag is packed. I'm going to keep it with me all day. And we're ready. Coming for you, Bree. See you bright and early tomorrow. So our office, it's kind of like an unspoken thing, but when you're the first person in the building, regardless of if you're drinking coffee or not, we like to go ahead and get the coffee made for everyone else. But thankfully for everyone, I am a coffee drinker, so you already know that means as soon as I get in the building, we get some lights turned on, the coffee gets going, and my cup is first in line. And while we're here, it is the third day of this new school year. My outfit for the day is this top from Shein with this little ruffle sleeve, these bright orange coral turquoise earrings, Levi's jeans, and some cute little white boots from Target, actually, that I thrifted. And we have coffee, and it is 7:20 in the morning, so we can finally conquer the day. So next up, I need to log about 4 hours of work time. So this is kind of what that looks like. And if you're curious about what's on the wall behind me, I actually painted all of those. And that is what I call my gallery wall in my office. And my students like to come and look at it, which I think is really sweet. But I don't have them behind me because I do spend a lot of time on video conference. And then we had our event talking about recession proofing your investments. And then it was time to go. So where we're at right now, my event is over. I am done working for this week. I have run home. I have changed and made sure I have some last minute things in my bag, and now we're headed to the airport. So at this point, it was just a matter of making my flight. I was there plenty early. I was there really early, hopping on board, and then it was off to my friend Tori's, who met me at the airport in the middle of the night to take me back to her lovely home, which I greatly appreciate. And here we are getting ready to get it together for the next day. Yet again, traveled with just my backpack. Don't even worry about it. Had to say hi to the dogs, most importantly. Everywhere I go, there are dogs, and just wait, there's even more to see. All right, so Bree had ordered all of these gorgeous flowers from a mix of wholesale and Trader Joe's, which Trader Joe's is every DIY florist's favorite hack. Now, she had some visions, but I will say it to anybody who is asking folks to help them with bridal flowers, please, please, please have your plan. So you see there, she had her recipes out, we got our containers out, and we started separating the florals based on what was needed for the different types of arrangements, whether that was bouquets, centerpieces, etc. And then instead of showing me photos, she went ahead and made up a few of her arrangements, and I went back and cut all these florals down to the sizes she wanted. I built kind of a rough base for everything, and yes, her whole house we just turned into a florist workshop. I mean, I had flowers everywhere, she had flowers everywhere, and for about the next 14 hours, all we did was florals. Now, she had a lot of other stuff she was working on, so really all I did was florals, but I did have some pretty cute help. This is Waylon, and that's Waylon's little friend, and here we are trying to keep our spaces clean. There's Bailey. And as you can see, we're separating for all the different things. So she had centerpieces, aisle pieces, altar pieces. This is one of those beautiful centerpieces. Now, her vision was very wispy and garden-like, kind of like an elevated wildflowers, a little bit windswept, which keep that in mind later. It did get a little bit windswept, but she wanted to come back in after building her bases and add in some filler pieces, which we would do later. And this is kind of what the finished product would look like. Now her base were these plastic bowls with some rolled chicken wire, and you can see in the back that she made kind of a lattice out of her green floral tape. So here I am adding the greenery to the base and kind of building up this dome shape from the bottom. And she had quite the fun variety of textures and colors with her florals, but I will warn people, make sure you're picking stiff stemmed florals. Things like ranunculus are really pretty, but unfortunately they really struggle to hold up with being prepared in advance, especially if you're doing it yourself. Now these cages are for what would be at the end of her aisle, her altar piece, which we just stuffed all this heavy greenery, and then you could see we added all of these taller florals too. And while this ended up working, it did struggle a little bit in transport, and I did have to do quite a bit of work the day of to restake it into the ground. Here's all 10 finished centerpieces with their little pieces waiting to go in. You will see me get these packed up later. We came back to this altar piece, which is what we called it, and added in the roses, and this is absolutely stunning. I just will never get over how beautiful this was and how beautiful it was on the day of. We took a quick break to do a rehearsal. Here we all are in the park, and we came back to get those florals packed up. So these are the finished centerpieces. You can see they're a lot poofier now that we've gotten to add all those little pieces in. She came up with this numbering system, so each floral was numbered and then put on a map according to its number. And we used the transport boxes for the original florals to put these arrangements in, and that way the people who would theoretically be putting them out would just pick up the finished floral, set it on the table next to a chair or wherever it needed to go. Now, I will say, looking back, I should have gone with the group who were delivering the flowers and done this step myself in order to maybe help this process go a little bit smoother. But overall, this is where we left things off about 1 a.m. the morning of her wedding. So here are 33 finished pieces, and it is bright and early. It is time to get ready for a wedding. I am barely alive in this hotel room. We went and gathered breakfast for everyone. She got us all these cute sets, and we did bring some flowers with us because we did not get to finish bouquets or boutonnieres the night before. So in the chaos of getting ready, here are the flowers for her bridal bouquet. And we took these with us on the road. Here we are going up the mountain, all the bridesmaids, all the flowers and all the things. And then here is the ceremony space with those beautiful aisle flowers. As you can see, they turned out so sweet at the ends of these chairs and that gorgeous altar piece. Now, what was lost in translation, they had originally set this up really spread out, so there were gaps in between all the pieces, so I had to do what I could to fix it the day of, and we were battling some high wind. So this is how it ended up turning out, but it was gorgeous nonetheless and really made for a pretty vignette for this ceremony to occur. Now inside, our centerpieces traveled quite a bit better, and we plopped them into these beautiful silver bowls that she had in the centers of her tables, and they just look so sweet and whimsical and fun and simple, and were really the statement that they needed to be. Now at her welcome table, she had these cute dog treat favors with this beautiful graphic of her dogs, as well as this centerpiece, which was more of an elevated version of the table centerpieces, but turned out absolutely gorgeous. I think this one was my favorite out of all of them. I mean, the colors, the composure was just absolutely beautiful. And overall, I thought this was a really fun way to welcome people into her reception space. Now we took those florals from the aisle end caps, and those ended up at their sweetheart table. And then we had these cute little florals originally on the patio, but because of the wind, we ended up just putting them around her cake table. And I think it was the perfect addition and exactly what it needed to be. And yes, those are her dogs on the cake. Here we all are having a little bit of dinner, which was fantastic. There's my friend Tori, and then the party really got started. I'd like to take this moment as a reminder that while weddings can be stressful, planning them and putting them together can be stressful, this is the end result, and it's all the people you love and care about having a fun time and you finally getting to relax, which is why Tori and I gave a final toast. We were so happy to see our friends married off, and we'd like to wish Bree and Dakota a blessed marriage moving forward. And with that, my time in Nevada had come to a close, and it's time to go home. And finally, it was time to pack up my things. So this is a final look at what my dress looked like. I took my heels off and put boots back on, and I wanted to show some fun details that she did. I loved all these dog-related customized signs that she made to reflect her puppies that she had to leave back at home. I thought they were so cute, and she even had a few favorites left over, so I brought some home for my dogs. And one last look at these gorgeous flowers and how they held up throughout the day before we finally pack it up, get in the car, and get on a plane. Okay, so after about 60-ish hours of really hard work, this wedding has officially been pulled off. They are married, they are happy, they are in love, they are blessed. And it is time for me to get it together, to get on a plane, to head home in the morning. So Nevada, it was good to see ya. Maybe I'll see you again before a 2-year hiatus, but in the meantime, this has been so much fun, and thank you for coming along with me for the ride. I'll see you in the next one. Out here looking like little pack mules. We've been to war. We've been to war, and we've made it through, and it's time to go home and go to bed for the first time in like 60 hours. Where is our vehicle? We don't know. Where's your husband?